On the agenda? I'll change that. Yeah, that's old. Good catch though. I gotta change that.
Clock. Roll call, we'll go around the table. Todd Lands and the mayor.
Jason Ferguson, police chief. Kevin Thompson, assistant city manager and community development director.
Marjorie Morgenstern, city council.
Ashley Lopez White, school board president.
Glenn Sinistro, school district superintendent.
Eric Montani, public works director.
And you have city manager David Kelly on virtually. Public comments. Now is the time for the public may speak on any item not listed on the agenda. Oh, and our student liaison, Yada, is now present. Please have a seat.
Sorry, my bad. I got confused with the city hall, so I was like sitting down and like trying to figure out where I was going.
It's all good. This is the last time. All right, so now if anybody has any public comments to make regarding anything not on the open session agenda. Seeing none, we have no communications. We have approval of last meeting's minutes from August 21st. Motion to approve.
Yes.
And second,
Second.
anyone against this? Great, motion passes. Moving on to new business. First item up is Cloverdale Unified School District General Update.
This we only.
Superintendent,
Yeah.
your time.
So I would just say that we have received funding for 8 classrooms for our transitional kindergarten and kindergarten. So we have we used to have 2 years to complete it, but now they're saying we have 3 years to complete it. So we are in the design phase right now. And so we hope to have, by this time next year, we hope to have all of our plans and everything like that ready to go. And then we'll start building probably in the spring or something like that. We're hoping by January 2020. Oh, no, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, we got a lot of money from the state to be able to put that there, so that'll be good. And that will be basically on the north side of the Jefferson School, which is about where all of our portables are basically. So we'll be able to get rid of all those portables, move everything a little bit east also. Then we're also looking at, I met with Kevin and Derek. We're going to look at adding another drop-off spot there on, I don't know what street that is. Venetia Street, yes. That would just be for the TKK guys, because as you know, those guys have to have their own yard basically, fenced in. So we're hoping that'll alleviate some of the traffic in the morning. And the other thing is that we finally finished the purchase of the property between us and Alexander Valley Health. And so we have everything ready to go for their new bus stop. We're going to have their own auto piece. And then what DSA, the Department of State Architecture, wouldn't accept it until we owned it. So now we've got that moving. And then I actually have a meeting coming up, I think in a couple weeks, with Debbie, I think, from Alexander Valley Health to discuss kind of her timeline she's going to be on, because that street is still kind of on her timeline. So, and then we are also looking at painting some pickleball courts, some of our tennis courts, and creating a few pickleball courts from there. We're kind of looking at different, I know that we got to figure out a color to do it because we don't want to interfere with the color that's currently there for tennis. And I believe that I need to look at the Del Webb ones that I think have both on them to see what they did. So, And then we're trying to figure out, we're not gonna do all 5 of them, but we gotta figure out if we're gonna do the 3 side or the 2 side or not. So we're looking at that. I can't think of anything else. Can you?
No, I can't think of anything.
No, I think that's it. And then our general plan, we're just gonna look at, for our facilities. Right now, we're working on just kind of updating that, because that hasn't been updated for about 4 years, and of course, we've had some projects happen since then. So, that's just a matter of getting filled in, and then, this, like I said, this other project is kind of a new project that we've got going on.
We do have buses operate, or a bus operating them.
Correct, thank you.
Since our last meeting.
There was something on originally it came out, said it was like a younger age, is it all ages or is it younger?
The
Or
bus
yes,
through 8th grade right now, don't have high school transportation yet. Well, that's not true, through 6th grade right now, because the state says we have to go through, we have to have a transportation plan through TK through 6th grade. But I believe, once we get the numbers that are on there from K through 6, that we may have some room to be able to add some for Jefferson, or for Washington also.
great, thank you.
Mhm.
Any questions? Comments, additions? David, nothing, okay? City of Cloverdale general update.
Thank you, Mayor. I think Glenn covered the major update, and that was that we finally closed on the Times Square property after many months of being in escrow. We did receive the escrow payment from the school district, so thank you, Glenn, for expediting that part of it. And I was just glad to be able to bring that finally to closure. And then also, as Superintendent mentioned, our staff is coordinating with the district on their proposed expansion at the elementary school, and we'll appreciate the early collaboration and communication on that. And I think continuing that is just of great benefit to both the district and the city.
Yeah, and just one more thing, we are underway with an active transportation plan, which is kind of multimodal cars, pedestrians, bikes and all that, so we probably will want to bring you guys in for your comments. We're working with the Sonoma County Transit Authority, and they've laid out some trails, so you may have some ideas.
Great.
We'll be in touch, it just started, so.
Anything else?
I have one more thing when we get to the planning update, but I guess we'll wait till we get.
Should we talk about light property at all?
Yeah, definitely. You want to talk about LIDA, David, or do you want me to?
Please proceed, Kevin.
Oh. Well, we just closed on a piece of property called the LIDA Ranch, which goes, yeah. It's right at the end of 2nd Street, 209 acres, I believe, so it's gonna become an open space similar to Porterfield Creek. So hopefully, within about a year, we'll have all the trails in and all the other things that we'll need to make it accessible to the public. So that's really exciting, and hopefully the schools can use that and
Cross country
I was
too.
gonna say, New Cross Country?
That's why I cross country and wanting to mention, because they're always looking for someone running in vineyards and stuff, and I'm like, that's perfect.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of roads on it already, so they're wider, so the trail might be more conducive to cross country. Exciting.
Questions, comments? Seeing none, still no attendees. Moving on to the student liaison appointment for the 23-24 school year. After last meeting, I think we'll be looking for a new one. Just kidding.
Oh,
First meeting was amazing. She did a great job. So you can introduce yourself. That'd be great.
My name is Yada Hagel. I don't know what else to say. Are you enjoying it so far? Yeah, it's not bad. It's interesting on the way, like, how much it goes, like, how much like stuff you have to think of for just one tiny.
Big city or small city, it's all the same. Lots of politics, lots of slow government work.
It reminds me of my yearbook class for my sophomore year. Was like big, small town with big spirit. There you go.
Like that.
You did a really good job on your first report, so that was, we were all impressed.
Yeah, it's great. She hit all the schools.
Nice.
Really good, so,
Very good.
anything else? No questions? Kaiser Park area trash bin request. Kevin, want to talk about that since on the recent meeting, David wasn't there, or?
What is this one?
So this is, somebody came in for public comment. And they talked about the trash that they see in front of Kaiser Park in the front of the school where the kids walk a lot. And they requested that somebody, whether it's you or us, put in some type of trash bins along that strip there.
Probably says the trash bin inside.
There's one, like, fairly close, like right where you're walking north on the boulevard.
It is in the list.
It is, and apparently no one's probably.
Frequently.
Go to the bathroom close by, so I know where all the traffic tins are,
Yes, we can do that.
but it's not very visible.
Yes, we can do that.
If it's something that you need the city to team up with, let us
I
know.
think we should probably be able to take care of the trash bin. Yes,
See, look how easy that was. My gosh, the question was always this way.
I can't guarantee the use of it.
I cannot guarantee the
That's
use.
a placement you got?
The placement and the purchase, I'm all over that, yeah.
Love it, love it. Questions or comments? Thank you, that was easy. That was, I came out of the meeting on Wednesday.
Sorry, I blanked on that.
That's all right. We're good. All right, the meeting scheduled for 2024.
Mike, you wanna?
I could talk about it. So Mayor, traditionally, or the chair, traditionally, we have the council will in December, they're gonna set the new meeting schedule for 2024. And that's when this meeting, for example, as one of our subcommittees, was set for 5 p.m. to be looks like it's every other month. And I know there's some interest in potentially moving this a little earlier or having it not as frequent. So I think it's just that discussion here so we can have the subcommittee's recommendation go to city council in late November or December for what we're looking at for this subcommittee for the following year. If there's any suggestions or recommendations, that's this is your time to discuss that, and I will note it for the record so we can bring it to council.
What do you guys think?
Does this time work for everybody or?
Yeah, that's not a problem. Has the previous historical been once a month?
Depending on how busy we were, is how frequent we made it. It's been monthly, it's been quarterly, we've had different, depending on what's going on. Like right now, it's not that much going on, however, it might when Alexander Valley kicks off. We're having to work that corner together and your properties together and the road and all that, but I don't know.
We don't know.
That's
what
really
that
not
time
that
is.
much.
We also just meet, I mean, it's pretty easy to meet with everybody and not wait till this meeting necessarily.
Right.
You can always have special meetings, so even if you, and this isn't my recommendation, it's just a suggestion, if you did move it to something like quarterly, you could always have a special meeting at any time, we just have to notice it. So if you wanted to change the frequency, it wouldn't really change anything. We can always have a special meeting. And the time, the only reason we brought that up was our other subcommittees, we have quite a few of them, all meet at 1:30, but I know that obviously the school is still in session part of the year, so that we do like to align them the best as possible, but if 5 o'clock works best for a unified school district, we're happy to keep it that way. But that's why we put this on there, just so we can.
So quarterly at 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
Sounds like I see a lot of heads.
that would work for me, yeah.
We have enough meetings as it is and we can always schedule specials.
Mm.
Everybody good with that?
I am,
Hear that, Mike?
Quarterly at 5?
Quarterly at 5?
And Monday,
Would you like that to start in right away in January, or is it?
Yeah, we can schedule our next one for January and then go from there. So we have January, April. And so on.
Okay. And then my only other question is during the summer session, is it would you still like to have those meetings?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. All I need, thank you.
Any questions or comments on that?
hope we don't get outvoted by the city council. That'd be awkward.
That came out well. Future agenda items. The lifeguard certification. That's something that we should really try and push.
Standing items.
And this one?
No, it says standing item.
Oh, I missed a whole section. How did that happen? Wow. No, when I passed it on my screen.
I had the
Plan.
Nice.
I need no longer here.
Leave it to the rookie.
Nice.
Well, you really want to
We're gonna
skip.
get money early.
All right. Agreement review with the school ad hoc. I think we already did that, right, David? You guys have been working on that and Joe was on it.
This
Yeah.
process initiated by a former member of the subcommittee and the former superintendent. And I think there is a need to update the cooperative agreement. There's been a number of updates, including, we went to a standalone agreement for the school resource officer. So I think this is probably an exercise, superintendent, that I and a board member and the mayor could work in as an ad hoc and just, bring forward an updated draft for this subcommittee's consideration, and then ultimately to council to ultimately consider for adoption. But a lot of it was just striking the old outdated language and just kind of clarifying some points, which we may want to take a look at, like for special events, and if there's any other like joint use that we want to address with our parks or facilities. This would be a good opportunity to look at updating the cooperative agreement.
Figure probably an hour or two at the most, all right, David? Maybe we do that in November, December, that way we can bring it back in January for
Yeah.
for adoption.
We did quite a bit of work on it,
Thought so.
so it's really just putting it back together.
Perfect. SRO update?
Nothing real much to give, other than superintendent and I met after the last meeting to kind of go over some of the questions he had regarding why we're here with the MOU, the crossing guard situation. So I thought we had a really productive meeting there, and I think there's a clearer understanding of the school resource officer position in the MOU. So nothing to report on the availability of an officer to fill that role. We're still in the same situation, still on track to have our officer graduate the academy, which is going to be hugely beneficial in implementing.
We already did F3. Already talked about F4, unless there's more to talk about with Times Square property.
That's why I brought it. I didn't know it was called the Times Square property.
This school district south properties.
Yeah, so we are going to met with the board and I are going to meet probably by the end of the month to discuss if we want to continue to pursue that, or do we want to not pursue that, potentially resell it or something like that. So we should have more for our January update for sure. And at our city meeting I had with Kevin and Derek, we talked about that as well. So there'll be some decisions being made here pretty soon. Hopefully.
If it goes a different direction, could you bring it back to us? Let us, of course, meet with you first before putting things out.
Yep.
We'll be on the same page.
Absolutely.
School facility master plan. Is that good? Oh, go ahead.
Again, like I said, we're just updating that with all of our late recent things. We're also going to add to it the TKK thing, because that was kind of something new. We didn't ever going to get that. And then my thought would be to share that with you guys too once we have that updated.
This one will be for Kevin, the planning and development project.
Yeah, the only, we did discuss this a little bit before, but the only new application we got was on South Cloverdale Boulevard for 52 units affordable project. And that's under this builder's remedy scenario. So we're still working through how we're going to process that application. We'll have more on that. There's a couple paths we can take. We're meeting with our attorneys this week to discuss that. I can tell you that the Ostie Road Apartments, we just got an email, looks like they did get their financing. So that one's probably a go. And Glenn, if you want to come in, I can run through all of these and give you more detail or but other than that, we don't have any new applications.
So Asti is 75.
Yeah.
And South Cloverdale is 52.
You,
Taylor Lynn. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's a good
What
way
you've
to
been
talk
talking
about.
about.
And maybe Glenn has some ideas on that too. Taylor Lynn 2 Apartments is across from Ace Hardware. You can see that narrow lot there. That's another, I think it's 24 units. That's market rate housing, so there's no affordability component to that. And the mayor had an idea that maybe we could work with the developer to prioritize teacher housing there. And the developer's open to ideas. I just need to get him something. I've been searching, I've been finding a lot of stuff about affordable, like for sale, where like a jurisdiction will provide a second mortgage, but obviously we're not talking about that, but if you have any ideas or any examples, if you could send those along, and I'll keep working with him. We have a little bit of time because he's, just starting construction now, but he is open to it. I don't know what it would look like, if it's just a priority or a reduced rent, or I don't know how that would actually work, but any ideas if you guys
Is
have?
that property gonna be like the other one where it's
Yeah.
all condos that are being rented?
Yeah,
It's not, okay.
they're apartments, and it looks very similar to the white one in the south. The one in the middle is a different developer.
They were 2 and 3 bedroom apartments, right?
Yeah.
They're
They're pretty nice, yeah, he does a nice job, he's a pretty good developer, and
I know it's hard for Cloverdale to retain and attract because of everything. You're a long ways away, your pay, or whatever it is. We've been through it all, so I'm hoping that maybe this will help a little bit.
Okay.
Somehow.
Yeah, I like it.
Could we ask another city maybe that has?
I have reached out to Healdsburg, who has a dedicated housing person, and so he's looking around. So yeah, I can definitely do that. Yeah, maybe something real simple, just that he'll prioritize teacher.
Prioritize
Real
or
simple.
give it, I don't know if he's allowed to give discounts, I don't know how that works. Or,
Well, he could get where he wants it.
Yeah. well, it's market rate, I
As
guess.
soon as you're in the subsidy, that'd be a good question. Okay.
Anything
And
else?
assuming you just rented apartments, right? They're not
Yeah.
buying, they're not buying.
Yeah, they're right.
Gotcha.
And they were in the low 2000 range, 21, 22 last time. Anything else?
That is it for planning report.
Did Asti Road give you any timeframes or anything?
No, she gave a real simple email saying we got funding in this last round. It just came in like an hour ago. There's not much more detail there. So I'll keep you informed about what's going on.
Thank you. And now we go back to where I was. Future agenda items. Student lifeguard certifications. We definitely want to push this year for why I didn't have a hard time. But that's just something to keep in mind for springtime. And then the regulation pool, feasibility plan. Something to walk through.
Where are we looking?
That's the thing. We don't know. So I guess it kind of
South
depends on what your property does. If you want to do.
Well, if we get enough rain, well,
So
built in.
I'll just say, at our last meeting, we had a group come to us to do a presentation to try to do a full community center and things along those lines. And I think that the consensus was, show us where the money comes from. And so maybe these things can all work together, that if they do come up with money, you come up with property, and all kind of fall together. But that's very big dreams, so. It's a lot of collaborating, but boy, would they, really have to line up on that one.
This is like a separate group, you guys meet for the feasibility. Is it like a group that?
For that, no, that one was put on here, because they were it was brought to us as like a regulation size pool for the school to use.
Gotcha.
And it was basically said that it's not something the school can do right now, however, maybe we can find something in the future, so we're just kind of letting it hang there.
Gotcha.
So until there's a dead no, but as of now, it's a good trying.
Gotcha.
Questions or comments? Did I hit that right?
Are there any additional future items, Mayor? That anybody on this subcommittee can think of?
Anything right now?
Sounds good.
everything's on that standing item list that we ever asked, so things already.
Well, if you think of something, let us know.
Mhm.
All right, well, thank you guys for the quickest school meeting we've had yet. Meeting adjourned 5:24.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks,
Right, now you're gonna post it on Facebook.
Thanks, guys.